Hello there everybody and welcome back to Sunshine Islands. I went ahead and played a little bit off screen just to pass a bit of time, but when we step out the door today we're gonna get a little bit more tutorial. So I figured I would come back so we can showcase this. Ack! That really hurts. Can you do me a huge favor and step back a little? Oh, hey there, little guy. I thought I'd hide to surprise you. But I hid so well that you stepped on me. Well, I guess there are some big advantages to being visible. Anyway, are you Nick, the new ranch owner here? Nice to meet you. I'm Coral, a sprite from Harvest Sprite Island. I hope we can be friends. How do I know your name? That's simple. It's because you're a neighbor to Harvest Sprite Island. Of course, you don't know that we're neighbors. That's because the island is hidden by Harvest Sprite magic. But we're interested in you, so we're gonna let you come to our island. Oh boy. We made a new bridge on the west side of Ranch Island. Use it to come visit our island whenever you want. I should head back. Come visit soon. Bye. Yeah, so this game has Harvest Sprites. Real surprise, right? Pretty much every single Harvest Moon game has Harvest Sprites in some capacity or another. I've given my potato plants enough water, I think, so I'm going to leave them for now, and I'm going to use that energy that I have to water some of my new turnips instead. It's been sunny. I don't think it's going to be rainy for a couple of days, so it's a little easier to grow in the sun because it's easier to control the amount of water that you're putting out. Because if it rains days and days and days in a row, there's no way to control your sun points. So we'll go ahead and just give these a little bit of water here. I might actually water them twice so that I can swap off on watering. So for example, if I water these twice today, I shouldn't have to water them tomorrow, and I can give my potato plants a little bit of water, and that just saves me some energy. We are going to go and talk to the Harvest Sprites. If I switch my map view, you can see that they have indeed built a little bridge there on the west side of the farm. I figured I would just get my watering out of the way first. Just get it over and done with, and then we can go and speak to them and see how it is that they can help us. Because in most Harvest Moon games, they offer assistance to you in some way. So this cool looking leaf bridge will take us to their island. Oh Nick, you came at the perfect time. We were just talking about you. Everyone, this is our new neighbor. Let me introduce you to the other Harvest Sprites. Starting from the left, there's Cinnabar, Primrose, Matcha, Elle, Siran, and finally, Wisteria. We were talking about how we could help you. Yep, you literally just said that. Ranch work seems hard, so we should help you out a bit. Yeah, but how we help you might surprise you. We can enchant various places to help you out with your work. We can do different kinds of enhancements in each area. It's really neat. It seems that you like the idea too. Just talk to me when you want to put in requests for enchantings. The enchantings will start the day after you put the request in. Sounds simple? Everyone's on board except for these two on the right. Enchanting is tiring. I want to rest after the enchanting is over. I agree. I want to rest after enchantings too. Okay, then why don't we have a rest period after one of us has done an enchanting? You can relax on the island and you won't have to do any other enchantings. Is everyone okay with that? Are you okay with that too, Nick? I highly doubt I have a choice. Don't worry, us Harvest Sprites work quietly, so we won't get in your way. And if we work together, we can have an even bigger effect. By the way, sprites love humans that are kind and friendly. If you give us presents or talk to us, more sprites may appear. And remember, just talk to me for specific instructions on enchanting. We'll help you out as much as possible. Let's work hard, everyone. Woo! Alright, so we have the Harvest Sprites on board. If I go ahead and go into the Assets menu, you can now see that we have 7 of a total of 45 possible Harvest Sprites. So as you give them gifts and you speak to them, you will get more Harvest Sprites available to you, and they'll all kind of walk in a big line. So say you give Wisteria here gifts, he'll get more and more and more friends, and they'll all just kind of walk together. I don't tend to use the Harvest Sprites all that often, because as the game goes on and you get the right tools and you have the right resources, there's really a lot of stuff that you can do on your own, and it's sort of unnecessary to use them. But there are certain sprite teams that are more useful than others. So you can see here that this is a list of possible places that the Harvest Sprites can work in. So they'll help you out either in your chicken coop, your stable, on the ranch, or they can help you out in certain areas on each of the islands. So if we click on ranch, for example, you can see that the dark blue Harvest Sprites are responsible for friendship. So if you have them on your farm for a couple days, they'll raise your spouse and your child's love level towards you, their hearts. You have the yellow team that will gather and ship crops for you, so you don't have to do it by yourself. They can also till the field and water for you, as well as reap dead crops. So you can hire them if you want to get rid of all of the weeds on your farm. If you're just overrun with weeds and you don't want to deal with that, then you can ask them to do a little bit of work for you. You can ask them to till squares, etc., etc. As we get more things built, we'll have more options. So different colored teams will probably work in the stable, the barn, and the chicken coop, for example. If we just select a shop at random, so say we click on Maribel's shop, you can see here that the blue sprites have the same function in each area. They just work on friendship in whatever building you put them in. The dark green Harvest Sprites will allow the price to be affected. And not just selling items, but also buying items. And for that reason, I would say that the green Harvest Sprite team is absolutely the most useful by far. Because if you go down to Ganon's shop, as an example, what they can do is they can actually help you decrease the amount of money that it costs to build things, or the amount of materials that you need to build things. And that is huge, because there is a lot of stuff that we gotta build, and it costs a lot of money and it costs a lot of materials. So I usually only really take the time to befriend the green ones, and they're also really easy to befriend because they like things such as material stone, lumber, etc. Again, free stuff that I don't have to actually buy for them, which is always a plus in my book. But they're just like any other villager. You have to talk to them in order to get them to trust you, to give you gifts. If you ignore them, you know, they won't accept your gifts anymore. So it's a lot of extra work to make the Harvest Sprites work, and it was work that I really wasn't willing to put in my first time I played, so I had brought back some Harvest Sprites, but there are some teams that I don't even bother with. Like some of the sprites like only mining items, or some of the sprites only like food, or they only like fish. So some teams are harder to befriend than others. I don't like fishing in this game, for example. It's something I'm going to have to do. I don't have a choice, but it isn't my favorite activity. And so the Harvest Sprite team that likes fish, I kind of just avoided altogether. You know, I didn't really use their abilities either. So we'll check in with them at some point, just kind of see what they're up to, and we might use their services at some point, but I'm not too worried about it right now. I'm really, really, really tempted to buy the bigger rucksack upgrade, but I'm gonna hold off on it until I ship a little bit more and have a bit more money, because at this point in the game we have a lot of options as to what we could buy, because it's so early on and like we're missing so much stuff. But this inventory space is killing me. And now I'm like losing track of who I've talked to because I'm trying to play and talk at the same time. And as you can see, I've been giving people gifts and just doing pretty much all the same stuff that I was doing before. On Spring Day 10, we're gonna get a bit of a tutorial into the main story portion of the game. It's gonna go into an explanation as to what exactly this game's story is and how we're gonna deal with that. So that's sort of what I'm waiting for right now, is just to get that bit of tutorial going, because once that happens, we can really get the ball rolling on unlocking some more stuff to do. I might pop in and just eat another sandwich here. I'm gonna give Ganon his piece of material stone. I love villagers that you can just give rocks to, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is awesome, I love these." It's like, yeah, you're welcome. I collected it myself. I'm running out of flowers, which is both a good and a bad thing. It means that my inventory is getting cleared out, but I also don't want to run out of gifts for the girls, because if possible, I don't want to have to buy gifts right now. And then I have to constantly reorganize my inventory. I don't think I talked to Julia today, did I? No, I did not. I'll give her a flower. I can buy her super cheap gifts that are probably better than flowers for like $10 a piece, which I should probably do. She's probably one of the easiest girls in this game to impress, I find, out of all the available people that we have right now, at least. She's real easy. Sabrina's pretty easy too, because she's another one that really likes flowers and herbs and things like that. But Julia likes animal products and animal food and stuff like that, so when we get animals especially, she's really, really easy to impress. Natalie's probably the hardest. Not the hardest of all time. There's a girl we haven't unlocked yet that is quite difficult to impress. But right now, she's a little fickle because she likes food, and I don't really have the ability to make a lot of great food right now. But we pretty much have all game, you know, to befriend them, so it's not like it's any huge rush. You just take it a day at a time. My only recommendation, of course, is just to remember to talk to anybody every day if you plan on continuing to give them gifts. Because even if you don't have a good gift for them right now, you want to make sure that they'll accept your gift when you do have something good to give them. And you can see that my field is once again filling up with weeds. I didn't mention it, although I thought it was pretty obvious, but maybe not. I should mention that your field does not populate anything except for weeds, boulders, and branches. So cleaning out your field won't make wild items show up, so you're not going to get bamboo shoots and flowers and herbs on your farm. So that's another good reason for dumping all of the stuff you find in town onto your field, is because then you leave the town free for those things to show up, because they're not going to show up on your farm anyways, kind of thing. So that's probably it for my day. Looking on my calendar here, I didn't miss anything, no birthdays coming up. And I'll probably just play tomorrow as well, because nothing is coming up until the 10th. So I'll just basically rinse and repeat. And I will see you guys on Spring Day 10 when we're going to get a bit more understanding of the game's story. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.